Hello, this is Marc P Summers from AI App Builders, and this is going to be a special video today because I have a special guest with me. The first special guest, probably of many, doing this idea. Well, as long as the idea works, let's see. I have Caroline Ainsley from Bubbly Maths, and Caroline, thank you for agreeing to be a guinea pig and coming on this call with me. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you, Mark. I am the founder of Bubbly Maths. What we do is we make maths fun. We use it using soap bubbles and balloons, doing giant geometric shapes with shows, workshops, and lots of games as well, using traditional materials like paper and string and sticky tape. And I have always wanted to do an app. Always, since the apps came out, and I'm very excited about the possibility
So
of
you've
actually
had this.
extending Bubbly Maths into it. Yes.
Cool. You've had this vision to do an app for some time. Has that vision iterated into kind of, some ideas of what's going to be in the app? Or is it just, I want an app because apps are cool?
Well, I've always wanted to have something to engage. There's three different levels. One is for something to children just to play with that isn't just adding and subtracting. There's a lot of maths apps out there that are very simple, just basic arithmetic, really, and maybe a little bit more complicated. But what I do is more creative. It's actually really making maths a creative thing, or math. And I really wanted to do puzzles. I want to make geometric puzzles that children can solve. And then we've got the teachers and parents for homeschoolers, home educators, that can give them the guidance on how to facilitate the learning. And then, of course, on the back end, we've got lots of activities on the back end, and we want something to lead the children in, get them enthusiastic, and then help the parents and the teachers to be able to facilitate that in a home or classroom environment.
Okay, brilliant. I'm going to stop you there before you get too into what's going to happen, because what we're going to do is use this, use this prompt wizard, which I've just written. And what this prompt wizard is going to do is it's going to brainstorm with us to help us work out exactly what your app could do, what functionality it's going to have. And then we're also going to make sure it creates the best prompt for an AI app builder such as Famous.ai to create that app. So not just take that idea that's been floating around in your head for quite some time, but is going to then brainstorm the idea and pull out maybe further ideas that you maybe never even thought of, and then move that into a prompt, which will then move into an MVP, a minimal viable product of that particular app. Let me just go ahead and log in here to the prompter. And here it's going to ask us a bunch of questions. The first question is, what is your idea? And so we're going to call it, just simply put, an app for Bubbly Maths. Website, bubblymaths.co.uk, and that's it. We're not going to give it any other information because right now we don't really know too much. So we just literally are telling it the idea. It's an app for Bubbly Maths, and here's our web address in case you want to go off and research. And then our little bot, which doesn't yet have a name, has now already understood his remit. And here it's saying it's a great idea. I believe he says it's a great idea for anything you put in. When I was testing this, I put that I wanted to create a fruit selling site that sold fruit to one-legged 51-year-olds that live in Ireland. And it told me that was a great idea. Very small niche, but still, it was endorsed as a great idea. So I might develop that in my spare time. An app for Bubbly Maths could bring their fun, interactive approach to mathematics to a wider audience. Here's a quick summary of possibilities: an education platform, and interactive games and virtual workshops. And so it goes into more detail with that. Optional features could include user profiles, which you'll need, progress tracking, leaderboards, and in-app rewards. Kind of gamify it with in-app rewards. To refine this concept, let's start with the first core question. What should your app do? Well, I think we'd be wrong to say we want it to do all of this stuff, right? Is that any things you need in there? You mentioned the educational platform, you mentioned the interactive games, you mentioned the virtual workshop. It's kind of as if this bot was actually listening to our pre-conversation before we even logged in, but It just shows that your website has given it enough information for it to understand who you are, which is good because SEO is now dead and AEO is coming in, which is answer engine optimization, which means that you'll notice when you now search with Google, the first half of the screen is a whole load of AI responses on what things, and that's answer engine information right there. And so we now need to be not optimizing for search engine optimization, but actually meant optimizing for answer engine optimization. And that would be that if someone was looking for the world leader in interactive games for making maths fun, your website would have to be optimized for answer engine systems so that it then said, well, Bubbly Math says this. And so
I didn't, I'd seen it, but I hadn't clicked that I had to do anything about that. So that's something. Thank
it's
you for
it's a
opening my
completely different.
eyes.
I mean, we've known each other for a very long time, and you've also, when I used to, way back in the day when I used to teach SEO, been to one or two of those workshops. Now it's a
And I
whole
got your book.
the pamphlet, I think they call it, not a
Well, it's
book.
a book.
It did have what's the spine? It did have a spine.
Does.
Yes, that does have a spine. None of that is relevant anymore. That was about 20 years ago that I wrote that. But moving on, engine optimization has this similar set of ingredients to a website to get that done. I digress because we're not talking about answer engine optimization. We could probably do a whole workshop just on answer engine optimization. And but
Can I be your guinea pig?
for now, what we have here is a good idea that the chatbot has gone to your website and it's got a good idea of what you do.
I'm impressed.
So we're giving it those three things. We want user profiles for the three roles of people, which are children, parents, and schools. Is that what you said?
Teachers. I don't, which is better, teachers or schools?
Teachers is good. It's going to be the teacher that logs on rather than the school. I haven't seen the school
Exactly. And
phone
schools aren't very good at that. Although
log
with
in.
AI, who knows?
Okay, and then do we want progress tracking, leaderboards, and in-app rewards?
I do like that idea. I
Okay,
think
well
that could be
let's
very,
throw
I
that.
mean, I use that myself with a few apps that I use, and it's quite, it provides quite an incentive to keep going back.
Exactly, it's a way to get you to go back and maybe having in-app rewards and streaks. Streaks are always good. So we're basically taking its ideas and putting them back to itself and saying, yeah, we like those ideas. That's what we
Okay.
want. We gave it our own piece of information about the roles. And then we're going to send that off to it. And the app sounds like a comprehensive educational tool that combines learning with play, making math fun and engaging. You've outlined some great features. Let's refine it further by identifying the target audience. Who is the app designed for? So effectively, the app is designed for children, parents, and teachers.
I suppose my main audience, let's say child age, is about 7 to 11. So the end of
So
the higher end of
children
elementary,
7
lower
through
end
11,
of
and
middle
then
school.
their parents and teachers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that way we've got a target. We know what and then the parents and the teachers are just kind of connected to them because we're not going to find parents and teachers that are 7 to 11. Okay. And then wonderful. The app will cater for children aged 7 to 11, their parents and teachers, offering tailored experiences for each user role. So when you log in as a child, you see one thing. When you log in as a parent, you see another thing. When you log in as a teacher, you see another thing. Now, which
Wow.
platform do you envision this running on, web or mobile? We are going to develop it as a mobile app, but what I would advise you also do is have it as a web app as well. And the
I think that's what teachers are going to use more than anything. The children will use either a pad, a smart pad, or a phone
so
cell.
here's where we get to make a decision on what we start with. It's easier to make a web app for two reasons. One, because it's available to everybody. They don't have to install anything. And so there's no barrier to entry, whether you have a phone or whether you have a desktop or a laptop or whatever, you can use the web app. The technology in developing it is easier, and you also don't have to have developer accounts with Apple and Google. So from a minimal viable product, it might be better for us to actually start with the web app and then later on turn that into a mobile app. when I was
Okay.
creating my relation equalizer app, I did that same thing. I created the look and feel, the minimal viable product, what I wanted it to do, making it work as a web app, and then I made it into a mobile app by cloning its features using screenshots of the mobile version of the web page because that's exactly what I wanted. And the more difficult side is creating the mobile, but it's easier because I already had all the framework from the web. So we're going
Okay.
to change this and say we're going to do web first. Obviously,
Okay.
you can open a web app on a phone very, very easily.
Yes.
And you can also create its own little special home icon. It's a little bit of a jump through a couple of hoops, but you can get someone to actually make an icon for that web page on their phone via a home icon bookmark.
Okay.
And so while you're developing it and adding features to it, do it all as a web page. And then when you say, yes, that's the app that I'm looking for, then create it as an app. You know, I'm going to wait until I've got 5,000 users. And at 5,000 users, I'll invest the time, effort, money, whatever it is, to make it into a mobile app. Because if you do all that and you create a mobile app and then no one uses it, well, it's a little bit of a waste of time. The other nice thing
Yep.
about this is anything you create from a web app point of view, so you can link it to your website really easily, and have it as now it's a whole section on your website is the web app portion. All right.
Okay.
We're going to start with a web app. All right. Thinking. Excellent choice. A web app will be accessible across various devices. I just said that. Making it easy for students,
It was
parents,
listening.
teachers to engage with content. What key features would you like to include? You mentioned user profiles, progress tracking, leaderboards, in-app rewards, and streaks. Are there any other features you would like to add?
Am I able to add things later when?
Absolutely. So just like back in the 90s when everyone was developing their website, they used to have these little triangle like roadwork signs saying under construction
Yeah.
on the website. And it was like fashionable to have these workman signs on your website because it was all under construction. Well, to be fair, everyone's website's been under construction since the 90s. It's always under construction. We're always moving forward. We're always adding products. And the same thing
True.
happens here with a web app, mobile app. You know, you're always creating new features. Another app that, in fact, you helped me with the My Jellycat Collection app. It's an app for
Mm.
people to collect jellycats. We're adding new features on that pretty much every month because
Yeah,
come up with
that's
great
very true.
ideas. We want the users to
Yeah.
see that the app is growing and is more appealing. Once an app gets a little bit stagnant, people tend to not use it anymore. I have pages and pages of apps on my iPhone that probably haven't used or since about 3 iPhones ago, but they get installed when I back it up. And one day on a long flight, I'm going to go through and just start deleting stuff.
And then they come back again to haunt you.
There's icons on my phone that I don't even know what the icon is for.
So this doesn't include the actual games and the puzzles. This is just. This is not relating to the core content. This is the the facilities
Yeah,
that
we're not
for
adding content
interacting.
here, but we can add that as part of the prompt. As a starting point, we would like 3 interactive mathematical games using shapes, numbers.
So I want to stay away from the numbers because
Okay.
numbers are everyone uses numbers. It's yeah, shapes and puzzles. Let's say let's include puzzles.
So let's just leave it at that. The more you give it, the more it's going to aim at kind of what you're telling it. The less you give it, the more it's going to use its intelligence to kind of go, oh, is this what you mean? I love doing that because sometimes you get surprised at, just how, it's like what it's created. Like, that wasn't what I was thinking, but that is awesome. So,
Yeah, well, absolutely. And I've been using AI to some extent, Chat GPT and things. And as soon as you use the word math or maths, it comes up with numbers. It's
right.
all, suggestions are all based around numbers, which is why I actually don't want to use that word.
Okay. So it's saying that that's a great addition, starting with 3 interactive mathematical games focusing on shapes and puzzles will provide an engaging and educational experience for the users. Next, how will your app generate revenue? Will it be free, subscription based, or another form of model such as pay-per-view or something like that?
At the moment, it'll be free. It's more a way of getting people's attention to the services that we provide and provide value to them. And then get them to go onto YouTube and hopefully make that bigger and be able to monetize it in other ways.
Yeah. Okay. So the app will be free to add value and show that Bubbly Maths, show what Bubbly Maths can do for them. Does that sound good? Awesome. All right. Perfect. Offering the app for free is a great way to showcase the value of Bubbly Maths and attract a wide audience. Do you have any specific APIs or integrations in mind that you would like to use in the app?
Not a clue.
Say that again.
Not the first clue.
No problem. So, how about this? Let's say you had an area of the app that was connected to effectively ChatGPT, what OpenAI is what we'll use, and we train OpenAI to be a mathematical clown. And so they can
Mathematical entertainer.
mathematical entertainer, right? They can chat to the mathematical entertainer, and it will then, from its training, only respond. If you ask it if you can give me a recipe for cauliflower cheese, it's gonna say, I'm sorry, I'm a mathematical entertainer. I don't know anything about cauliflower cheese. Apart from the weight of the cauliflower that you need, it could, you go there. But
the suggestion would be, yes, let's use a recipe to do some maths.
And that's where you would train the model, the GPT, in doing what you want it to do. Effectively, that's what I've done here. I've trained the prompt wizard to know everything there is to know about building an app and what it needs to know and how to get suggestions. If we asked it now, could you tell me how to make cauliflower cheese? It's going to say, let's get back on task and handle this. Go and talk to my friend, the chef bot, for that. And so we would like a mathematical, is that right? Mathematical.
Yep, you got it.
Entertainer chatbot.
Okay.
This OpenAI powered chat wizard will be trained with a underscore training knowledge base so that it can be a mathematical expert in regards to the 7 to 11 age group.
Yeah.
Age group and bringing fun to mathematical problems. Okay.
So do spaces matter? Do you have to go back and make sure that the spaces are, and then there's another one, knowledge space. Is that all one word? I have no idea.
Knowledge base is one word.
Okay. And then would the giving a name, I mean, would we want to call this mathematical entertainer Bubbles? Is this a good time to do that, or doesn't it matter?
Let's give it as much information as we know, then we don't have to later on tell it, oh, by the way, that bot was created and just called it a chat bot is now called Bubbles, and now you have to go through and edit all the files that you So
don't want to do that.
We'll have it here.
And are we going to have this is going to create a cartoon of Bubbles?
This won't. Your AI app builder won't, but we have tools that will allow you to do that, and then you upload them. And if any of you are subscribed to my YouTube channel, you'll see a couple of they call them AI spokesperson videos, which are basically, there's one which is a cartoon of my son talking about building apps. There's another one which is a fluffy purple bunny talking about purple AI.app. And then the other day, I actually took a photograph of a Jellycat plush and animated that, all with the AI spokesperson app that's inside purple AI.app. But this isn't going to do that. But there's no reason, excuse me, there's no reason why you couldn't, on the chatbot screen, have that cartoon of Bubbles, the mathematical entertainer, talking about what you could do in this area of the website. All right, let's send that to it. Okay, fantastic idea. Incorporating a mathematical entertainer chatbot like Bubbles will provide personalized interaction and fun, making learning feel more like play. For this integration, it's essential to store the Open API key securely. Let's move on the design aspect. Okay, this is where Orange comes in. Do you have any specific UI, UX goals or color schemes? So
it'd be the colors from my logo.
Yeah, let's pull up bubblymaths.co. code. Did I spell it right?
Yes,
It's just being slow.
you did. Nothing wrong with that.
All right. And
Thank
then
you.
what we're going to do is we're going to use a color picker and we're going to take that orange
Yeah.
and then we're going to use a color picker and we're going to take the red and then we're going to use a color picker and take the yellow. So orange, red, and yellow, or do you want the blue and the green as well?
We do use them because of the doing all the different shapes. As you can see
Yeah.
from the shape behind me, we need a decent palette of colors, or else it's just all.
So I have all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors there. Now we're going to go back to our prompt builder and we're going to say our main color is, and then we want to give it the first color with the following 4 color highlights and other areas.
Wow.
And then we go boom, 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 and boom. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That looks like magic, because I can't see the thing that you're using to get those codes. It looks like boom, magic.
It's all in my memory. I memorized all the
Yeah.
30 digits in order and
Great ASCII codes. Yeah, great ASCII code memory there.
hex codes.
Well, but it's okay. Yeah.
All right, we're going to send this off. Now, if we had seen a mobile app or a web app that we really like the look of, we could also take a screenshot of that and upload it when we send it this big prompt and say, I really like the look and feel of this site. And then it will base it on what you're uploading it as a screenshot.
There is a site that I like the look of feel of,
Okay?
or at least it used to be. It's the macmillan.com website. If it's .co.uk or .com. I don't know if they've changed it, but I used to really.
Macmillan Health.
It's Macmillan Cancer Nurses, Cancer Support. That's it. Cancer Support, it came up.
Okay, here we go. So this here.
Let me go further down. I don't know if it's still doing it. It's a lot more matter of fact now. We go on to another page maybe, but yeah, no, it's not. It doesn't. Nah, no, it's gone.
No
It's
worries.
gone.
No worries. It's going to come up with its best. Using those colors, it's going to come up. Using a vibrant color palette will make the app visually appealing and engaging for children. Before we put anything together into a prompt, would you like any additional ideas or refinements?
So I like the idea of things being round, because it's all with bubbles and balloons. It's kind of that kind of
You
rounded.
would like
I don't want square edges. I want rounded
round,
edges.
rounded corners
Round
and bubble shapes.
and straight. Yeah, straight lines, yes, because straight lines are okay, but it's yeah, that's good. Yeah.
All right. Are we happy with that?
Yeah, I think so.
We'll send that to it. All right. Great. Perfect. Incorporating round shapes and bubble-like elements will enhance the playful theme and align with bubbly math branding. Let's put it all together into a detailed prompt for your app. Would you like any additional polish or extra ideas before I generate your full prompt? Well,
Okay.
we are completely out of ideas. So, what do you think we should add? It's a powerful question to always ask when you're out of ideas. Boom. A parental dashboard, a teacher resources, community features. So definitely want those top 2.
Yeah.
Please add boom.
I don't really, not at this point, no, I don't want this for a forum. It'd be too hard to moderate.
Service free.
Yeah.
Okay, so great additions. These features will enhance the value for parents and teachers, making it a comprehensive educational tool. Let's compile everything into a detailed prompt for your app. Here's your ready-to-use famous.ai prompt. And so it's taken all of that brainstorming and put it all into this prompt, knowing exactly how you're going to be doing things and putting it into a prompt for us. All we now need to do is click copy on here and take this to Famous and say, hey, Famous, this is what I want you to produce. And so that brainstorming session has created this prompt for us. And so now we're going to go over to Famous, and Famous can do one of 3 things. It can create a web app, which is what we're going to be creating. It can create a mobile app, which is only able to be uploaded to the Apple and Google stores for Android and can't be viewed on a website. And it can even create a crypto app. So if you wanted to, you could create your own cryptocurrency and have a bubbly coin, a bit like Bitcoin, and people could then invest in bubbly coin. I wouldn't suggest you do
Okay.
that.
No.
So we're going to do the website and we are going to literally paste that prompt into here. We're then going to go back to your website and steal your logo and um, we're going to steal that photo, even though it's gone funny. Save image. Yeah. What other photo do you like? This one here. Save image. And this one's cute.
There's
Is that the same as that? It is.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Uh,
There's some on the but I like the one on the top left, but that's
this
yeah,
one.
that
Um,
needs fixing
top left. This
clearly.
one here.
Yeah.
Save image.
And then if you look on the workshop page, if you go to
Workshops.
actually I'm uploading things to the new website because we're developing a new one. So puzzle workshops, workshop challenges, there might be primary workshops, family workshops.
That's not a link.
No, it's not a link. Further up. But click on the workshops, that's it. It shows that there should be some there.
Math shows.
Yeah, there should hopefully be pictures on there. This is why the website is deteriorated. So I do love that one. The one at the top there. I don't know if you can download
Very,
that as an
very
image.
pixelated.
No, yeah, won't use that one then.
All right, so we've got a few. So we're going to go here, add images, then over to downloads, and then we're going to go ahead and just give it all of those
Okay.
graphics that we just collected. It's going to upload them into the chatbot, and we're going to make sure that it's got the top down to the bottom. Does it mention named bubbles? I like to put those in so it can pick them out. Okay, so we have our prompt in place, and then we've got the 5 images, well, 4 images and your logo. We didn't actually put in the prompt here anything about those images. So that's where it says here about the design. We'll add to it. I am uploading 4 photos and our logo for use on the site wherever you see fit. Okay, and then we'll press send and it will create our masterpiece. But we're not going to do that now. We'll do that in another call. And so if you really want to see what the outcome of this and the actual app being built live, watch out on my channel for the second part of this, which is the actual build process using famous.ai. Caroline, thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to joining you in a few minutes when we record part 2.
It was an absolute pleasure. I'm so excited.
It's going to be fantastic, and I can't wait to see that first iteration, that minimal viable product that famous.ai is going to produce in a matter of minutes. Thank you, Caroline. Thank you, everybody else. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you've got any comments, got any questions, put them in the box below. And if there's any particular subjects you would like me to record videos on, put those in the comments below, and I'll maybe pick your idea. So thank you guys, and I look forward to the next episode, part 2 of this, where we actually show you what this prompt is going to do using the AI app builder. Don't forget to like and subscribe.